So what are some of those annoying, irritating things, which is the question, which is, first of all, nagging. It's eye contact, it's when you complain to him about something, you look him in the eyes. He doesn't know that's why he's upset. Just don't look him in the eyes. Do it less. What do we say? She makes such a big deal out of things. Oh, it's her feelings again. Oh, yeah, she always says she's sorry, but she keeps doing the things over and over and over. Not that my wife did that, but I'm thinking about other men who have their various, there's different guys have different kind of complaints, but there's this asking too much. I'm going to think of a really good relationship of a couple, and they really have a good relationship. She knows how to ask for help, ask for support, but sometimes she does it too much. Okay, too much. And that's one, is don't ask so much, but make sure you're asking. Now, men do not complain that she's not asking for anything. But what I'm telling you, you need to ask. You need to ask for lots of help, but not too much. So that would be asking too much. Another would be complaining rather than asking, is that you'll point out what he didn't do rather than what he did do. Men get upset about, men are not aware that they don't consciously say, oh, I just don't feel my wife appreciates me. Because see, people don't always know what they really need. That's what I point out. If you appreciate a man, his testosterone goes up and he's a happy camper. So what will happen is when he doesn't feel appreciated, one of the big things women will do is they'll say, I'll be the woman for a minute. I do so much and I don't feel like you appreciate me at all. That's one of the most annoying things to a man is you say, I feel like you don't appreciate me at all. It's just like, why am I married to you? Why do I come home to you? Why do I work so hard? Why do I want to provide for you? You're the one I picked. Give me a break. Why would you say I don't appreciate you? Now, granted, he doesn't appreciate you as much as in the beginning, but rather than say, I don't feel appreciated, which means nothing to him. It just goes right by. One thing is men are the worst appreciators in the world, first of all. That's why we like women. You have the capacity as women, when your estrogen levels are high enough, little things make a big difference. Those roses behind you, how beautiful they are. Where women see that as so beautiful. So all I can do, I can bring her 50 roses and she goes, oh, amazing, how beautiful. But if she has enough estrogen in her body, I can bring one rose and she'll go, oh, how beautiful. Look at this. You see, women have the ability to appreciate little things and big things. And it's almost the same appreciation regardless if her estrogen levels are normal. So what we know to be biologically true about women is that when their estrogen levels are low, you can give her 50 roses or one rose. It will have very little effect. If her estrogen levels are normal, which is about 10 times more than a man's theoretically should be, average healthy man, she's going to have 10 times more estrogen. Then at that time, when it's 10 times higher than a man, he can bring her 50 rose. Her estrogen will go up with joy and happiness, or one rose, and it will go up the same amount. See, this is like women, you're amazing. You have the capacity to appreciate so much, and you also have the capacity, if you're stressed, to appreciate nothing. So you go from one extreme to the other. So when you say, I don't feel appreciated by him, it's very annoying. It's also annoying to men when you say, we need to talk. But you have to say that because sometimes you need to talk, but it's very annoying. So what you can do is turn that into a positive, is you basically just say, oh, John, I just want to talk for a few minutes. I want to talk about something for a few minutes. All right, already. That's going to take it down. Literally, you say to a man, we need to talk.
They'll run.
Well, his stress level goes up immediately. Oh, what's going to happen now? Okay, so his stress level goes up. So I just need to talk about something for a few minutes. Let's schedule some time, a few minutes to talk about something. So these are things she can say. It'll only take a few minutes. That's the first thing. Second thing, it's annoying because women can go on, and you will go on and on, particularly if a guy keeps arguing with you. Okay. So, because it's like you want to be understood, but he'll be logical and try to tell you that you're wrong. And then you'll start all over and it goes on and on and on. And then it goes into the feeling world that doesn't make any sense to him at all. Not that you can't share feelings, but don't share them as if they're always absolute fact. You see, I feel this means that's okay. That's what you feel inside. So that's a fact. That's what you feel, but it doesn't mean it's true. Okay. So I feel like crime is increasing in Chicago. You read all the news and you say, I feel like crime is increasing in Chicago. Is it? Actually, no, it's dramatically gone down. Yeah, but that's how I feel. So, okay, that's how you feel, but it's not true that crime has gone down in Chicago. But it is true that you're feeling that inside, and help me understand why you feel that way. Let's talk about that. What is it you're really looking for? What is it I can do for you? You know, these are things I would teach men to do, but women have to not get into this stance of whatever their feelings are. It's like fact. No, it's a fact that you feel that. So you start having a conversation about what we're going to do, and then suddenly it turns into how you feel about how he's talking to you. So you sidetrack the conversation into having it be about you and your feelings, as opposed to, can we put feelings to the side and talk about what's the best thing to do here? How important is this to you? How important is that to me? Let's make a compromise. That's called a logical conversation, almost like a business conversation. Leave the emotions and feelings out of it. That is what I call Mars talk. I remember one of my brothers he liked my work a lot, but he said, boy, with my wife, we're doing Mars talks now, and it makes such a difference. And we also do Venus talks. Venus talks is where feelings can flow. And if they come up, you know, it's about listening to her feelings, what's important. But see, to have a Venus talk, she sets it up a certain way. Otherwise, men get annoyed by too many emotions and feelings, and let's not just be logical. So what it would be like is, you just simply say, let's talk. It'll only take a few minutes. That's one thing that sets them at ease. Then I want to tell you the other day, you said this and this and this. Be very factual. Don't put any feelings in it. Just say what the topic of the discussion is, a summary statement at the beginning. You left the lights on. You didn't call me. I didn't know where you were. Keep it short, logical, no feelings. Now, she then say, and I just want to talk about how it makes me feel. And it's not a big deal. Okay, boom. You can talk about how you feel, no problem for men, if you say, and it's not a big deal. Because as soon as you start talking about emotional reactions and feelings, a man thinks you're overreacting, and it's not fair. He feels like he's being blamed and criticized, and then he feels controlled. Why he feels controlled is because if you're unhappy, then he has to change in order to make you happy. That's what he thinks. He doesn't really. Okay, your job is to be happy. If I can listen, I don't have to change anything, but then I want to change things. But he doesn't want to feel like he has to change. But if you're unhappy based upon something he did, and your happiness is dependent upon him changing, then I now have to change if I want to have a happy wife. And if I don't have a happy wife, then I'm not going to be happy. That's why men feel controlled. So it's a little understanding of the control issue of why the three big complaints men have is she complains too much. Those are all hidden requests. Instead, learn how to ask for help. She nags. Okay, she brings things up again and again and again. One thing you can do if you have a husband who just doesn't do that stuff is just don't nag. Make a list and occasionally say, oh, honey, when you get a chance, would you look over the list? It'd be really nice if you could do some of those things. Done. Stop demanding. Demanding is, I won't be happy unless you change. And the more you demand, your happiness is dependent on him changing. The more he feels controlled, the more he feels unmotivated to help you, the more low energy he will have. And he will not do that list. So have a little list of things and just remind him from time to time so you don't nag. Because there's things he said he'd do. He forgets to do it. Why does he forget to do it? You often will then turn into, well, either he doesn't love me and you'll punish him for that by withholding your love. That's one. Resenting him for not following through. But the other one is what you don't realize, and he doesn't complain about, but I'll point it out how it sabotages your relationship, is he'll forget to do those things, and then you'll just think inside, well, I'll just do it myself. It's easier than continuing to ask him. And now you're training him to do less. Okay. Yeah, you're training him. Okay, so what you do is you have that list and you give him a big reward when he finally does it, because he will do it eventually if you just patiently remind him about the list and no big demand. And by that time you say, I've waited 3 weeks for this to happen and I'm supposed to be really happy with you. You're training him. You have to train men how to live with a woman